Hi and welcome to this look at the 14-day weather prospects. Back in the 1980s, as soon as Christmas had finished, I would start looking forward to the snow season. During most winters, we could expect 2 or 3 decent cold spells, and even in lowland locations such as York, where I was living at the time, there would usually be a reasonable amount of snow. In recent decades, snow has become quite a lot rarer, with a few notable exceptions. For example, in winter 2009-10 and December 2010. Now, can the next few weeks put winter 2020-21 into the exceptions bucket? I'll start by taking a look at the picture across Europe and the North Atlantic. So here we go. This is 12 GMT, Tuesday the 29th of December. We've got the UK sitting under quite a cold northerly airstream with low pressure to our east and high pressure to the west. I'll begin the sequence. Here we go, and I'm going to stop it at 18 GMT, Wednesday the 30th of December. The reason for pausing it so quickly is because you may have noticed we've got a little disturbance diving down across Northern Ireland, Wales and parts of southern England. It brings the potential for outbreaks of rain, sleet and snow. There is some uncertainty about the exact track which it will be taking. Snow is most likely on its northern edge, where there could actually be some significant accumulations. Recent computer model runs have been tending to take it a little bit further southwards than had been looking likely. In fact, they are increasingly keeping the snow to the south of London, or at least the heaviest of it. Saying that, there is still the potential for it to adjust northwards, so it is something to look out for. I'll continue playing the sequence and just pause it here, 12 GMT, Thursday the 31st of December. Just to highlight, there is also the potential for some sleet or snow pushing southwards on Thursday. Again, the details about that are uncertain at this stage, but some places could well see accumulations. Now, off we go once more into the weekend. 15 GMT, Saturday the 2nd of January. By then, winds are beginning to go around into more of a northeasterly direction as high pressure builds to the northwest. So it's going to be remaining cold through the weekend. There could start to be more wintry showers in eastern and northern parts of the country. In fact, if I continue this more or less through to the end of the sequence, which is here, 15 GMT, Monday the 4th of January. By then, this GFS animation is showing an east or northeasterly flow across much of the UK, and that's bringing in the potential for quite heavy rain, sleet and snow showers in central and eastern Britain in particular. It is something to look out for. Upper air temperatures look quite marginal for rain, sleet or snow, so I would expect snow to be most likely in inland areas and over high ground. Could be some accumulations in places. Alternatively, the GFS sequence here may well be overdoing the extent of the sleet and snow risk early next week. It really is something to keep up to date with during the coming days. So what about the longer term prospects? I'll start by taking a look at the 16-day GFS plot for London. So here we go. On the top half, we can see upper air temperatures. The thick black line, as usual, shows the 30-year mean. And the thing to really pay attention to here is that in the coming days, in fact, through till about the 7th of January, the 6th, 7th of January, most of the individual runs within the ensemble model are keeping the upper air temperatures below the 30-year average by 3, 4 or 5 Celsius. Therefore, there's a high degree of confidence in it remaining rather cold or cold through this period. Now, as we go through the second week of January, things do become more uncertain, as I've annotated here. Quite a few of the runs keep colder air over London and southern England, but there is a cluster which bring back milder conditions. Now, I think what most of those are shown is milder air returning from the southwest. It is something which has been showing up in recent GEFS updates, so I think there's a realistic possibility of it happening. However, it's far from certain, and we could well see colder conditions hanging on through this period. On the lower half, we can see the rain, sleet and snow forecasts. The snow row at the bottom there indicates the number of runs on a given day, forecasting falling snow for this location. And what we can really see there is it reaches a high point of 24 in the short term. That fits in with the animation which I was showing you at the beginning of this presentation. But then in the following days it remains quite high. You can see 11, 16, 13, 20, 9, 8, indicating a chance of falling sleet and snow. Remember, the maximum value you can get on a snow row is 33. So 24 is really indicating something like a 60, 65, 70% chance or thereabouts of falling snow. When you get down to 11, it's suggesting a 33% chance of falling snow on that particular day. Now, if I also take a look at the Cardiff 16-day plot to show any differences which may be present, because sometimes we often find with the London charts they aren't fully representative of the southern part of the UK in general. So I wanted to show this because I think today, as it happens, it's a very similar picture across much of the southern half of the UK. Again, on the Cardiff plot, we can see upper air temperatures staying below the 30-year mean until around about the 7th of January, at which point the uncertainty increases and we have a cluster of milder runs in the ensemble. Same rules apply as for London. That transition to milder weather through this period is not at all certain, and it may remain cold. In fact, if I take us up to Glasgow, this is quite instructive because what it shows is the mean stays below the 30-year average throughout the 16-day period. In fact, we don't really see that milder cluster appearing during the second week of January. So again, that's more evidence, I think, for what I was suggesting, which is that the London Cardiff plots are showing the possibility of milder air moving up from the southwest. It may well, it's far less likely to make its way up right across the UK, so northern areas are much more likely to stay under the cold air mass. Of course, the thing to note in that type of pattern, with milder air trying to encroach from the southwest, is that along the border zone there is a potential for heavy outbreaks of sleet and snow. And if that border zone becomes slow moving, you could well see snow falling over a period of several days. But that is a long way off. However, again, it's something to keep an eye on as we head into the new year. Now, just to highlight the possibility of milder conditions, at least in the southern half of the UK, as I was discussing, here's the temperature postage stamp plot for 18 GMT on Wednesday the 13th of January. Each of these little charts is showing the maximum temperature forecast from an individual run within the GEFS model. And remember, there are 30, possibly 32 here, because you've got the 30 perturbations, the control run, and the mean, which is just averaging out all the others, all the runs in the ensemble. What we can see here is that some of the runs bring in milder conditions. You can see here, hopefully, we've got values going up to 9, 10, 11 Celsius. This one here shows values going up to into double figures in the southern half of the country. Scotland remains colder. And there's a good few actually which bring milder air into at least the southern half of the UK. If I scroll down slowly, hopefully you can see some of these. But as I say, it's far from clear that it will be turning milder, especially in the north. The other thing is, if milder conditions do return, will they last? To help answer that question, I'll take a quick look at the GFS 35-day charts. Here's the one for London, which shows 850 HPA temperatures. What we can see here is they remain below the 30-year mean for the next couple of weeks. But there is a signal for it to become somewhat milder as we go through the second half of January, before it possibly turns colder again as we head into February. That is obviously a long way off, but let's just bear it in mind for the moment and take a look at the comparable one for Glasgow. Here, the colder conditions last not only through the first 2 weeks of the new year, but they go on and it remains colder than average until around the 21st of January. We see an indication of milder conditions for a time, possibly between the 21st and the 26th. It then turns colder once again as we head into February. Now, what those charts to me suggest is more evidence for the possibility that milder air will be pushing up from the southwest, and therefore it's more likely to affect the southern half of the UK. What it also potentially means is that along the border zone where the cold and mild air masses meet, we could see significant snowfall. Now, if it becomes slow moving, that area of snow could persist for several days, even the potential at least for snowy conditions. A long way off though. It's just one scenario which could be being suggested by this long-range computer model run, but I really wouldn't put any store in the details at this stage. As I say, it's something we need to keep watching as we head through January. So to summarize, it's a cold start with showers or outbreaks of rain, sleet and snow. It's set to remain cold as we head through early January, and there is a chance that wintry showers could become more widespread in central and eastern Britain. From the second week of January, the uncertainty increases. Cold conditions may well continue, particularly in the north, but there is an increasing risk of milder air beginning to push into southern parts of the UK. So it looks like some of us will be seeing sleet and snow during the next 2 or 3 weeks. Conditions often will probably be quite marginal, so it may well not be the winter wonderland that some people are hoping for. Nonetheless, compared to last winter, it certainly looks a lot more seasonal. So thank you for watching this video. If you found it useful and enjoyed it, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you'll be kept up to date when I post more videos and updates. Thanks very much now. Bye.